Hey everybody, welcome back to another recap of 90 Day Fiancé Love in Paradise. Um, ooh, this is fun.
Mm, mm.
um, this episode went by really quickly for some reason. I don't know why.
I find their
Um,
episode. Well, I find their episodes go quicker than most 90-day iterations. I think they're shorter, and then also they cover fewer couples each episode, and so it just kind of gets to what it needs to get to.
that's true. That's true. Let's start with Shawn and Aliyah. We can get them out the way because it was
Mhm.
actually very short.
Mhm.
So, they're walking down in Rio, and I love the fact that you could just get like liquor on the street. Like that's amazing.
Yeah, gotta go.
Aaliyah gets Shawn a Capriana because she's about to max out all his credit cards at the whole clothing store.
I hate
Because
caporeiras so much. I do not like them.
they're not my favorite. I'll drink them, but
I
they're
don't
not my
like. I
go-to.
don't like kasasha. I don't. It's the flavor. It's the flavor of it is a little much for me.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it's just not that flavor profile is not for me, so that's why I don't like them.
Hmm. They just remind me of like a Brazilian mojito.
No, they are. That's
Yeah.
exactly what
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah. So anywho, she's like, well, let me get this nigga drunk so I can,
In mood.
take him to the mall and spend
Mhm.
it all on me, that kind of
Mhm.
thing. So they're at the clothing store. Aaliyah has an aesthetic, okay? She likes to show off her body.
Yes.
She is
City girl
she
fashion.
is yes, yes, yes. And this is where things are really sinking in for Shawn,
Mhm.
because he was like, I'm immediately taken back to when I was married to a woman, and I'm just sitting here waiting while she spends all my money.
Mhm.
And he's like, I thought I gave this lifestyle up, like,
And the thing
you
about it
know.
is, remember he did all of that last episode with it's not about gender, it's about who I love, who I'm attracted to. I wish he would just stop that. Because there's nothing wrong with you saying I like I like men. And I'm a gay man who likes men, who likes gay men. Like that's my preference. That's what I want.
Mhm.
And this is really hard for me. And I know he's grappling because of how much he cares for Aaliyah, um,
Mhm.
and and loved who Aaliyah was prior to. But
Mhm.
he needs to just say what he's saying.
Yeah, he needs to break up with Aaliyah
Yeah.
because Aaliyah is not going anywhere.
And I don't want him
And
making her feel bad about her coming out of her shell and really really like embracing all of who she is. And I know that's not his intention, but when you are feeling dowdy that way, you don't understand the way that you can project that onto somebody else. And so I want him to go on about his way so that she can really truly fully live her best Aaliyah life.
yeah, but that was them,
Mhm.
honestly.
Mhm.
um, let's move on to Alex and Adriano.
Mm.
Um, so she just arrived in Italy.
Mhm.
Um, she, you know, she is very smitten with him.
Mhm.
She loves her Italiano lover, and he loves his Black American queen. Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They finally meet because she has to take a train from Naples to wherever he is.
Mhm.
And she gets off the train. They have a wonderful kiss, and it's just like they seem to be really into each other, right?
Yes. Mhm.
They go on, go get dinner, and he lets us know that for the last 8 years or so, he's been back and forth in Australia.
Mhm.
Um, his dream is to move there permanently. He tells us that Italy is a very conservative nation, and he wants to move to Australia so that he can be free and work on his personal training business.
Some wallaby bitches rocked his motherfucking world. That's where he started having all them threesomes. And he found some community out there where he is able to live in his swap heaven. No shade, you know.
His loofah lounging.
His loofah lounging, you know what I'm saying? He found his personal Florida. And so it seems like, you know, it just turned his life out. Alex is still a very black girl. And she's like, I don't want to move to Australia. That's hella fucking far from my family, from everybody that I love. And what happens when I'm halfway across the world and you find a couple bitches who are really down for the threesome life and I'm just stuck out here with motherfucking kangaroos and dinosaur lizards? Like, what's that supposed to look like?
Right. And we come to find out, like, one of the times where they broke up, he had found some girls that was down to do a menage a boogie. And he texted her and was like, well, I'm out.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
You know? Like,
well, all right.
So, yeah. So, which I don't understand why she went back again, but that's just me. You know, he makes it very clear to her that this isn't going away. He is like, she gives him an ultimatum, essentially. She was like, you got to figure out what's more important, me or these threesomes. And he's like, both.
He's like, both of them. They're both just as important to me. Isn't this ravioli fantastic? And
yeah. And, you know, when I was watching this, I was like, this reminds me of, like, people who do heavy drugs. And they're always trying to recreate the same high that they got the first time. And I feel like that's what he's trying to do.
Not only that, and maybe because we have not seen enough of them and their chemistry, possibly we just need to see more of that. But what it's looking like to me so far is that they have a very strong sexual chemistry.
They took drag too far.
Yeah, they're highly, highly, highly attracted to one another. They have an amazing sexual chemistry. She's clearly dickmatized out this motherfucker. Like, this nigga is laying it down sideways, up and through, and she's able to forget all of her good senses every time she's with him. I mean, and listen, I get it, but stick to your guns, queen. Like, you know, you don't want to move to Australia. I don't even know what it looks like for black people to be living in Australia anyway.
It doesn't.
But British
they
criminals.
don't. You end up as a tattoo on Karen for Finance's
on Karen for
arm,
Finance's
you know?
leg, okay?
You know?
So I just haven't heard amazing conversations as it pertains to blackness in Australia. I could be wrong. I've never been there, but
yeah, they've never.
What I can tell you is they have animals that I thought were extinct, and so for me,
nah.
As for me, I am scared. I don't get.
That's where Mothra lives from Godzilla.
Exactly. It's still dinosaurs in Australia. Like,
yeah, nah, I'm cool.
So I'm good. Like, kangaroos square up with you. Like, they will snuff you and they will keep going. So I'm actually cool on a 7-foot animal that will square up with me. Like, I'm cool on a place like that. And then the white people don't like us anyway. They already done kicked their own, indigenous and aboriginals. They've already kicked them out to where they have them go. So I just stick to your guns, queens. But they decide to table their conversation and their very heated discussion for later. They go back, they have some wine, and then they both get wet and realize, like, oh, this is why we fell for each other, and they get busy. Knock boots.
And that was them.
Yeah.
This is actually going faster than I thought.
Great.
Let's end with Madelein and Luke.
Oh, okay. So let's. Oof.
Let's go with Ani and Kyle. Still don't
Coyote.
they're both weird, honestly, because she weird too.
She's weird for continuing to be optimistic about this situation. Everything
Exactly,
else
that's
about her
weird.
is normal, but she is weird for that.
Yeah, she got to get a clue. Like this isn't gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
And she's very. This is a quintessential. I can change him.
Maybe
Like
tomorrow will be better.
yeah, like I want people. If you're watching this, stop telling when you find somebody. Oh, I can change him or them or her. You know, whatever their pronouns are.
No.
I can change them. You know what I mean? No, you cannot. You cannot change a person.
You can't.
You can, even if you are highly influential, that doesn't mean that they're going to be open to change and change specifically for you, because what ends up probably happening when they do change, they'll leave you. So
Yeah.
they meet up for breakfast because remember that he's staying in an Airbnb. Thank God. And she admits as well that she gets bored easily, just like Kyle. And, you know, she suggests that they should go do some sightseeing. And so Malta is comprised of 5 different islands. And so they go to Gozo, which is the prettiest one, according to Ani. It's also good to note that, you know, they have coffee and whatever. And he's like, you know, did you get sugar in it? You know, because remember, she's still on that point system for his loving, which I would not want that. Yeah, no. And she's like,
she's horny.
You take, right. And he takes like 25 different supplements, all nothing to do with any other facet of his health except for sperm donation. And what kills me about this whole thing is that you're doing this for free. Like, it would be different if you were like, because I know, like, if you go to sperm banks, you can make up to like $2,000 per deposit. Then I'm like, okay, you know, you're using that money to invest in crypto, whatever the fuck, right? That makes sense to me.
Yep.
This is, you are just laying it low and spreading it wide.
Like, you don't even charge for the travel fees? Like, for the accommodations?
Which is important to note of what happens next.
Yeah.
So she assumed that when they got together that he would stop, or at least stop donating via intercourse. And so, you know, while they're on a Jeep trying to get to the cliffs or whatever, he keeps like adjusting. And he was like, well, I have to keep adjusting because my balls are big and it's hot, and like sitting down kills your sperm. And so he was like, it's a professional thing to do. Again, which is weird because, again, you're
on a tour bus and you just rubbing your dick and balls. Like,
yeah.
I mean, with reckless abandon, like everybody else supposed to understand that this is normal for you.
Yeah, and it's not. It's weird. So, like I said, she was under the impression that he would stop donating. But he went ghost and went to Australia for a little bit. And she's nervous about him cheating because, you know, he told her that, or she assumed that he would stop doing this, right?
She assumed. But he also, so after, you know, she calls him out for rubbing his dick and balls in public and all that, she's uncomfortable. They get off this tour bus and go sit on the rocks by the water. I said it last time, but this Malta,
I got to go to Malta.
I've got to get to Malta, okay? Between the meal they were eating and every view that I saw, I was like, why has this not been on the list? So I've got to get to Malta. But they go sit on the rocks by the ocean. He's brushing her hair like Marsha Brady. Rubbing his dick and balls while he brushes her hair. It's a disturbing scene.
Yeah, it made me uncomfortable.
It did. Everything about him makes me uncomfortable. And she asked him about this trip to Australia, and he's sketchy about it, and like not even in a smooth way. It's very much like, so What happened when you went to Australia? Huh? I don't remember.
I can see you're getting nervous about this topic. I don't know what I remember. I would have kicked him straight in the place he was digging in.
Let me tell you something. I would have been like, you were so worried about this motherfucking sperm count. Brace for this, nigga. Like, I...
Mm-hmm.
Because don't play me for stupid.
Right. I don't know what I remember. And she's like laughing, but again, white women don't have a serious enough face. Well, she doesn't. Nobody say that.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't have a serious enough face to be like, I'm not playing. And he eventually is like, yes, I had set intercourse for a donation. But he also goes into this defense mode. Like, this woman was desperate. You know, she really, really wanted a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, no, you could have did it, you know, with your turkey baster or whatever the fuck. Like, no, you wanted to have sex with this person.
Yep.
And again, you're lying.
He's lying because he knows that maybe this means that they did have a conversation and she did explicitly express that she wasn't comfortable with him performing intercourse insemination anymore. But he doesn't intend on stopping. And so maybe it was that, but I told you, I have a feeling as to what is going on with him, but I'm going to just keep that to myself. And I feel like you have the same feeling. But he does not look at sex, he says, as a pleasurable thing.
No, it's a transactional type of...
It is literally a work duty.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he's like, maybe that's why I'm just not seeing what the big deal is. I don't see her viewpoint. But yeah, this is a core part of who he is what he says. This donation.
Yeah. And he's infecting the world with his weird ass DNA.
Yep, exactly.
But last but not least, we have Madeleine and Luke.
Ooh, she likes her bread and butter.
Yes. Macklemore and Brazilian Brett Stall.
I'm not even gonna do Macklemore like that no more.
Yeah, because this Luke is not a cold ass honky. Like he's not.
No, not at all. And Macklemore, all I'm gonna say is he on the right side of things. And
oh yeah, yeah, he is. He is very
pro humanity.
Let's go with that. Yeah, because we're on YouTube.
Yeah, he is pro humanity, and even though he has never been my cup of tea, musically, and I didn't know anything about him, you know, I'm gonna let that cold ass honky make it.
Yeah,
because if somebody got to use their voice who got some kind of influence.
Yeah, right. So they're driving. Madeleine looks like Luke's daughter or older brother, like or younger sister. It's a little weird.
Shh, hey.
So 3 months ago, Madeleine opened up a beauty salon called Made Beauty.
Beauty.
Yes, Buaty. By Made Beauty by Madeleine Perez, right? I was like, it's a very cute salon. I gotta be honest with you.
Yeah.
Apparently, this is one of the things that Luke invested in with her. It's very cute. It's very glam. It's what a nail beauty salon would look like. She does lashes. She does nails. She does waxing. Things that it low-key look like the spa thing across the street from my house.
Blessings and salutations.
Thank you.
It looks like what she would own. And if I walked into a salon of that aesthetic, even though it's not my aesthetic, I'd be like, this checks. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they do cute shit in here. So, yeah.
So, he is actually supposed to be funding this business.
He invested $10K.
But remember, he is on the broke end of things. So, he's asking her just, she's like, I want him to be proud of me. Like, I'm working. I want him to see that I'm putting in effort to this and I'm not just stealing this man's money. Right. So, he's asking her like business questions and she's like, well, we have 20 clients so far and I'm bringing in $750 a month. And he's like doing the math and saying they need 90 clients a month to break even. And she's like, I get annoyed when you ask me these business questions. And it's just like, well, girl, you do have to think.
And you are handling the day to day. So you do have to like
answer these questions because.
But you know what that is?
Business.
Before she didn't have to worry about counting who came in and what. So she wasn't keeping a track like that because this her cash cow. So she knows the bill's going to get paid regardless.
Right. And so he figures that now is the right time to tell her that he is broke. So he's like, listen, I lost my job about a month ago. I only have like 2 to 3 months of funds to pay for rent and my taxes and all that stuff. And if this is, we need to work really hard to get 90 clients in here to at least break even. So you don't have to give this up. And she's like, she's pissed. She's like, well, why didn't he tell me? You should have told me this from the jump. But, she's rather reasonable about it in this moment. She's like, shit happens. We could work with it. I'm a very boss bitch is what she calls herself. And, of course, I feel like this is going to spiral later on. But they kind of table it. I don't think she understands the gravity of the situation. Because they get back to the crib and they let us know that they're freaky frogs.
Yeah,
and,
that they have a very healthy.
She's like, he made me squirt and all this other nonsense. and
he's like, yeah, we be doing it in the McDonald's. And, is that what she said? I could not figure out for the life of me what she said.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he's like, yeah, we be doing it in McDonald's, we be doing it in Chick-fil-A, and we be doing
box
it
with the fox.
On top of a train in a plane. Clearly that she said he makes us squirt, and I was disturbed once again because she's 19 and he's 30.
Yep. But that was them.
Yeah. And he still has not told her that this is not his permanent move.
Oh, yeah.
So there's more to unfold.
Yeah.
She's going to shit a brick.
Oh, absolutely. This is a very light episode. Because I know next week, Kyle spawns a nuke on Ani. I feel like Alex and Adriano might not make it.
Oh no!
I also feel like we're missing couples because there's only 4, right? Like
I feel like Love in Paradise is only ever like 4 to 5 couples.
I don't know. For whatever reason, I feel like we're missing somebody. Like I don't know.
Let me see. Last season we had Valentine and Wig and Carlos. We had the family Shantizi or whatever the evil Lydia. We had
7 couples last time.
Oh, word?
We had Brandon and Mary.
For Love in Paradise.
Oh,
that's the other way. The other way has more couples for sure. I feel like Love in Paradise has. We had Arnold Schwarzenegger and Evil Lydia. We had.
6. Oh, we had 6.
Oh.
So Jessica and Juan.
They were.
Marsha, and Latina Terrence Howard. Scott and Lydia. Valentine and Carlos. Jordan and Everton. And that's with
Everton. Yes.
April and Valentine.
Huh.
And Anna and Matthew.
Well, shit. Maybe we'll get more couples, because they be rolling people out too.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll get more, or maybe it's less for this particular season, and we're gonna get, because I feel like The Other Way is coming back soon.
Thank God.
I know. That's our shit. That's where we really get into the shit. But yeah, we'll see what happens next week. I feel like this was a filler episode, and we're gonna see.
Yep. Until next time. Bye.